Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, you will learn about the structure in C++ programming language. We will see in this lecture what is the structure, how to use it, and how to define it. Let's just see. This is a simple code of the structure number. So struct here is a keyword and the number is any number right here. Now we see a structure is a collection of variables of different data types under a single name. It is similar to a class in that both holds a collection of data of different data types. For example, you want to store some information about a person, his or her name, citizenship number, or a salary. Let's just suppose here I just define name. Sorry, this is the name as a variable. Then I just define number to that and then salary or city. These are the four variables what I just defined, or these are the four information what I stored here about the person. However, in future you want to store information about the multiple person. Let's just see, this is a information of a single person. If you want to store the information about 2 persons, 3 persons, or 4. Let's just see, we have the person right here and here 4 persons. Now you need to create a different variables for each number per person. Let's just see, for person number 1 we have the name 1 like this, number 1, salary 1, and city 1. For person number 2 we have the name 1, number 1, salary 1, the name 2, number 2, salary 2, and the city 2. And same like 3 and 4, for we get 3 and 4 right here. So you can easily visualize how big and messy the code would look. I mean, if we declare like this logic 1 2 3 4, like these are the 4 variables right here, and as you can see, like here I just copy. So these are the informations for the 4 numbers, like 1 1 1 and 1, and here 2 2 2 and 2, and like 3 3 3 and 3. So you can see here how this code is look like. It's a big. Okay, so also, since no relationship between the variable information would exist here, it would going to be a you may say a daunting task. Okay, so a better approach will be to have a collection of all related information under a single name like person. Here I just define struct as the person, okay, and use it for every person. Now the code look much cleaner, reliable, and efficient as well. So this collection of all related information under a single name person is a structure right here. Hope so you understand now. So this is the simple structure right here. You can see here, this is a structure of a person. Let's just see how we create a code right here. This is the declaration of the person, like struct and the person. Sorry, this person spelling is wrong. This is the person. Now I just define character for name, and the name character here are 50. So 50 is a character names here. Now integer age, and here is defined that float salary and character city. So character cities are also a 50-digit character. What it done right here, 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 and here. I just define the character for that. Character means it always take the string of 50 words, means the 50 alphabets like A, B, C. So it will take only the 50 alphabets right here. Then you just define the age, then float salary, and the character city right here. Now, hence a structure person is defined here with the 4 data members with the name, age, salary, and the city. When the structure is created, no memory is located. Remember that. The structure definition is only the blueprint, you may say, for the creating of variables. You can imagine it as the data type. When you define an integer like here, you just define the integer like here, I just define integer a. So the integer specifies that variable a can hold integer element only. Similarly, the structure definition only specifies that what property a structure variable holds when it is defined. Remember to end the declaration with the semicolon is must right here. Okay, like here it is must to add the semicolon after this structure's end. Let's just see how to define a structure variable. Keep this at the side. Like here we have this person, and the person name here is, you may say that is cat. Okay, hence a structure variable cat is defined which is of the type of structure person. When the structure variable is defined, only then the required memory is allocated by the compiler. Considering you have either 32-bit or 34-bit operating system, the memory of the float is 4-byte, memory of integer is 4-byte, and the memory of the character is 1 byte. So this is simply the memory location, how much memory will be taken, like this. Now we just see how to access the member of the structures. Let's just see here. I have person like age here, and age of the person is 50 right here. Okay, suppose you want to access the age of the structure variable like cat and assign it 50 to it. And assign it 50 to it. You can perform that task using the code like this. Now we see the coding example of the structure and see how to implement this code. I just define hash include IO stream using namespace and std. Okay, how we declare the structure here? We declare a structure outside the main function like this one. Here we use the structure. Okay, so our structure is already created right here. Now we go to the main function. Here I just define person which is p1. This is the person name, so I just getting the person name right here which is p1. Now I just write cout which is enter your name. Okay, then I just write cin.get, and here I just write here cin.get, and here I just write p1.name, and the name here is 50. Okay, you understand now. At first stage I just write that please enter your name, and it will get the value of the name right here, and 50 is a character set right here. Now I just write cout, and the cout here is enter your age. Close this code right here. Then I just write cin which is p1 dot get the age. Then I just write cout, enter salary, get the salary right here, and take the user input from the salary, which is p1 dot salary. Sorry, this is salary. Hope so you understand now. Now I just write cout, which is enter your city name, close this code right here, and then here I just write cn dot get, and then I just write p1 dot city, and the city here is character set of 50. Hope so you understand now. Now here is write cout. So first of all, I just run this code, return 0, and built and run. So we have an error right here, which is the using namespace std, and this is iStream right here. I just declare this as the using namespaces, and here this is the person number 1, and let's just see where is an error right here, which is cn dot get method, and this is simply the get method, no need of extractions operator right here, and run this code. So the name here I just write Kate, 25, salary 50, and please enter your city name, because this city name is not taken yet because I just not declared the right city here, and I just write that cout. And so before proceeding the cout, we just set our this code right here, because this is the cn operator, cn for taking the user input. So your code be just like this one. Now cout, here I just display the information, remember that. I just write /n display information here, and L for the end line. This is information. Okay, now cout here, which is equal to name, and then here I just write p1 dot name, and at the last end line. So end line, also called line break after this statement is executed. Now this code, and afterwards we just go to the age, then cout, that will print salary, and at the last that will print the city. Now run this code. The name is Cat right here, the age is 25, and the salary is 50. City name is Toronto. You can see the display information, the name here is Cat, and this is how we just did a little mistake right here, which is name, age, salary, and the city. Now we just see. Now you see the information is name is a cat, age is 25, salary is 50, and the city is Toronto. So this is how we just declare our structure. So you just also declare this for the person number 2, person number 3. So simply just change the name right here, like this one. Here you just simply change like person P2, okay? And then here you just write that cn enter your name, then get the name, and then cout and cn like this one. So simply change the P2 right here with for person number 2. I just simply gave out the little example. Like here I just write P2, save this code, and here name, age, salary. You can see here, and here you can see this is enter your name 2. Okay, this is the simple code what you just done right here with the help of this structure. So I just declare this code right here, so you need to declare here because this is getting the information like this one. Okay, hope so you understand now. If you find any of the problem regarding to this lecture, please let me know, and thanks for watching this lecture. Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture you will find relevant examples that will help you to work with pointers to access data within the structure. A pointer variable can be created not only for native types like integer, float, double, etc., but they can also be created for user-defined types like structures. We have a code right here which is struct number. So this struct is a keyword which is used for structure. Here I just write integer image, then float real. This is a simple syntax what I just created right here, and close this code right here. Now as you can see here, this is a simple structure what I just created right here. So I just pointed this image to the pointer, and here I just want pointer as an image and then pointer as the real. We have address 1 right here and address 2 right here. The pointer main concept is to storing the address. Hope so you understand. Now let's just suppose we have a complex pointer right here. Simply I just write complex and then asterisk ptr, which is equal to AND operator and then variable 1. So if this variable will run, so that will go to store the value like here in image, which is 1000. This is a simple address what I just created right here. Okay, and this is the address of this image. Now see what I just mean right here. As you shown right here, we have create an array of structure type complex size 2. Like here you can see we have the complex size, or I just leave it right here, and here I just write complex. Okay, and then I just write asterisk ptr, which is equal to AND operator and var for the variable representation. So simply I just create a complex array right here. Okay, now we just come back to our examples. So I just remove this all and start from beginning. Here as you can see, this is our complex variable, or you may say this is a complex array of structures which is a size of 2. Now then created a pointer of complex structure types and assigning the address of the array, which is var. I just assigning the address of the array is var1 to this pointer. You can see here I just assign this address var to this pointer. Okay, now the pointer ptr, you can see here this is the ptr pointer. It's contain the address of the element base address. I just told you, let's suppose we have the address of this image which is 1000. Okay, so that will store the address right here, and it's contain the address to the first element, which is our base address in the structure array, which is variable number 1. And we can use the pointer to access all elements inside the array by iterating the pointer using ptr++. Let's just see the coding example of this pointer and see how this pointer is worked. I just remove this complex pointer right here, and here I just write distance. So our structure is a distance right here, so I just creating the distance here, and here I just write inches. I just include the libraries here, hash include iStream, and after this I just write using namespace std. Okay, now after this representation of the structure, we just go to the main function, integer main right here, and inside the main function I just write here which is distance. So distance is our this structure name right here, and as I just told you that this is static ptr for the representation of the pointer, and here I just write d for the distance. Now ptr, which is equal to, I just write d. This is AND side to storing the address. Okay, simple is the meaning of this AND side is to storing the address in the d. Just make a concept right here. I will explain this program after this completion of this code. So here I write cout, which is enter feet, and after that I just take the user input. Here in the user input, first of all I just take the pointer, which is the stored address, which will store the address of the feet, and then I just write that cout, which is enter inch. Okay, and then here I write cin, and then static ptr dot inch. Okay, so first of all it will store the address of this feet right here, and then address of the inch right here. This is the help of this structure. Then here I write displaying information, and this is end line. Close this code right here. This is information. Okay, now here I write cout distance, which is equal to, I write here static ptr, and that will print the store address of ptr.feet, and here I write feet, and after that I write that static ptr, which is dot inch. Close this code with inches, and that will return 0. Run this code, and here we have an error right here, which is static ptr and the ptr, which is d. So this is for the distance and integer main right here. So we have an error which is integer main function, and before the main function we have closed this value. So here, as you can see, we have the small d here because this is already taken with the C++ library. Enter the feet. I just write I am 6 feet and 10 inches. You can see here this is displaying the information that you are the 6 feet and 10 inches. And now we see how this program is stored the value and how it will give us the value right here. And like here you can see we have I am 6 feet and 5.10 inches. So you can see here that will display that 5.1 is the inches and the 6 feet here. Now here I just remove this and explaining the code right here, that how this pointer is worked. So in this program, a pointer variable PTR, this is the pointer variable which is the PTR, and the normal variable which is D of the type structure distance is defined. This is the type structure which is the distance is defined. So you can see here, this is our type structure. The address of the variable D is stored to the pointer variable. This address is stored in this pointer variable. Remember that. So that PTR is pointing to the variable D. So this PTR is pointing to the variable D. Means we are storing the address of D. So I just remove this, and here we are just storing the address of this pointer D in PTR. Okay, and after that we will show the value. So then the member of the function of the variable D is accessed using pointer. So we only access this using this D using pointer. Okay, you can note that since pointer PTR is pointing the variable D in this program, which is here you can see in the CN, you can see start PTR dot feet or start PTR dot inches. This is the exact same cell, similar to, like this is similar cell to the this one. These both are the similar to each other, and you may say that D dot feet, here you can see you just also write D dot feet. So D dot feet or PTR dot feet are exactly the same thing. Mean here if you write D dot feet, so you can write like that or you can write like this one. So this is the exactly same thing. So this is a simple program what I just created right here in the pointer. Hope so you understand now. If you're not, please let me know, and thanks for watching this lecture. Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we are going to talking about convert character array to the strings in C++. The std string, or you may say the string in C++, has a lot of inbuilt-in functions which make implementation much easier than handling a character array. Hence, it would often be easier to work if we convert a string array to a string. Let's just see the coding example of that how we convert the string to the character array in C++. I just write hash include, this is hash include and our string. Then I just write hash include string dot h, or without that program will be work. Okay, using namespace std, and then here I just write integer main function. Firstly, I just create character m and take the empty array right here, which is equal to, I just write here hello I, or hello, or you simply I just write hello. Okay, now here I just write string str. Now here I just write integer I and close this code right here. Now I just take for loop I which is equal to 0. This is the for loop I which is equal to 0, then I which is equal to 0, close this code, then I is less than, here is write size of m, and then I plus plus. I will explain this code after finishing this. So now I write string I and which is equal to m and pass the array as a I. Now see out which is str and I here. Close this code and return 0. Now here I just close this code, all code, and run this. So we have an error which is, this is the for loop, and run this code, and this code is running. You can see here I just convert the string, means the convert string to the character array. What is that mean right here, and what is the why we are just converting the strings into the array? So I just remove this code and explaining this code right here. So as you can see here, first of all I just add two libraries right here, which is #include iostream and string.h. Then using namespace std, here as you can see here we are going to convert the string to the character array. So I just take character array right here, which is m. M is an empty array which is equal to hello, or you may say this is equal to hello. Then I just take string str. So this string str is, you may say this is a variable to this string. Then I just take one another variable which is integer I. Now with the help of this for loop, I just said that for I which is equal to 0, I which is less than the size of this m, and then I plus plus. Now here we are going to convert our string into the array, like str which is stored in I just take as an array which is equal to m and the array of I, and I just print after that cout which is str, and str is the I right here. Okay, so you can see here, first of all, after these variables, like here you can see, just remove this, and after these variables, means after taking these variables, 3 variables, so we are just taking the for loop which is taking I is equal to 0, I is less than the size of m, means this I is less than this size of m, means this size of array hello. Then I just, you can see here, after this I just write that str which is equal to I, means that this str is equal to this I, and this I is storing the address of this character m. So str is I which is equal to m, the array of I. So these two statements are equal to each other, and then after that I just print the statement of str which is I. So I just print this statement at the last. So this is a simple code what is just creating, or which is converting the string to the character array in C++. Hope so you understand now this concept. This is confusing, but if you find any other problem regarding with this lecture, please let me know, and thanks for watching this lecture. Welcome to this lecture. And in this lecture we are going to talking about the C++ program that will passing the structure to the function. So far all structures used in the preceding example have been global, and hints were available to all the functions within the program. But if you have a structure local to a function and you need to pass it value to the another function, then it can be achieved in two ways. First one, you can by passing individual structure element and try passing the entire structure. Both these ways can be achieved by a call, means both these ways can be achieved by call by values as well as call by reference method of passing the variables. Let's just discuss these. Now I just write that this is a structure and the structure is a date right here. Then this is a short day, short month, short is a data type, okay, and short is year. And after that I just write close this code and then b date. Okay, when an element of the structure is passing to a function, you are actually passing the value of that elements to the functions. Therefore, if it is just like passing a simple variable, unless of course that element is complex, such as the element of character. For example, as you can see here on your screen, this is our entire code, and this code is like passing the structure element to the function. Okay, now you can see here this function means here I just define function, and function here is b date, okay, or I just write that the coding example right here. So function number one right here I just write b date, or you just write b day for the birthday. Then here I just write for month and for year. So this is for year and this is for month. So this function call invokes a function which is the function number one. This is the passing value of the individual structure element of the structure, which is b day. You can see here this function number one, and this is the equal to sign here. Okay, this function number one is passing the value of the individual structure element of the structure b date. The function can either receive the value of creating it shows a copy of them, which is called the call by the value, or by creating the reference of original variables call by the reference. If you want that the value of the structure element should not be alerted by the function, then you should pass the structure element by value, and if you want the function to alter the original value, then you should pass the structure element by reference. But remember that if one of the function element happens to be an array, it will automatically be passed by the reference, as the array cannot be passed by the value. That is all what I just explained right here is passing the structure element to the function. Now we see how we pass the entire structure to the function. Passing the entire structure make the most sense when the structure is relative compact. The entire structure can be passed to the function both way, by the value and by the reference. Passing the value is useful when the original value are not be changed. By passing by reference is useful when original values are be changed. Let's just see how the structure date right here, and this is our structure. Okay, but here you can see we have short day, month and year. So you may say these are our function number one and function number two, and so on. Okay, now we see the coding example of this function, and here I just write that this is hash include stream iostream using namespace std. Okay, now here first of all I just create the function. This is called void display, and the display here is display the data. I want to display the data of the person. Here I just declare the function. Okay, now I just write integer main. So this is our main function, and now I just define the structure right here. So this is a structure which is the person, and then here I just write character, which is the name, and the character size here is 50. Then integer age, and then float salary. These are our element of this structure. You may say these are our simply the function. Now here I just write person. Person is a P right here. Okay, or I just write this person here. Okay, so P is a capital right here. Now I just write cout enter, and this is cout enter full name. Okay, close this code right here. Now here I just write cn dot get p dot name, or you simply pass the name. Okay, these are the two methods what you are just adding the cn. Now cout, which is enter salary, and then here I write cin p dot salary. Okay, now here I write cout enter age, and cin here I write p dot age. So this is simply the declaration of cin, which is p dot age. Now as you can see here, now I am just calling the function with the structure variable as the argument. Now here is write display, and the display here is, so I am just calling this function right here, which is display data, and the data here is P. Okay, so P is this person as the variable. Now I just create one another function right here, which is void display data and person P right here. Okay, now cout, and cout here is /n display information. This is for displaying the information here, and end line. Okay, now cout, which is display the name, and then print p dot name and end line. Okay, then here is write age and p dot age end line, and add the last salary and p dot salary. Here is write return 0. We have an error right here, which is void display data, and this is the capital P for the person. Now as you can see, our program is running right here. So as you can see here, this program will ask the user to enter the name, age and salary. So here I just write name, which is hello, salary, which is 50, and age, which is 2. So that will display the information with the help of passing a structure to the function in C++. Then as you can see here, we have the variable p. As you can see here, we have the variable p, which is pass the function using this display data p. The return type of this display data is void. You can see here this display data is return type of void, and the single argument of the type structure person is passed right here. So this is a simple program what I just created in passing the structure to the function in C++. Hope so you understand now with this example. If you not, please let me know, and thanks for watching this lecture. Welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are going to run a program which is give two arrays, count all the pair, those sum is an odd number. And let's just go to the coding example of that and see how this approach is worked. After this program I will explain all the code and will show you that how this program is work. So here I just write hash include iostream. Then after that I just write that using namespace and std. Okay, now we'll go to the integer main function right here, and inside the main function I just define integer a. This is the array size a. I just take the array right here. Here I just write 9, 14, 6, 2 and 11. Okay, then I just write that integer b, and the b right here is the array, and which is equal to 8, 4, 7, 20. So we are just taking the odd numbers from these values. Let's just see, we have, I just remove this, and you will see that so let's just see, we have the two arrays right here, array number a and array number b right here. So this means that this program means that will only take the sum of the odd number only. Okay, that will take only the odd number from these values. Let's just see how this worked. So here I just write integer number n right here. This is the size of a, and then here I just write size of a, which is equal to 0. So I just take an array which is starting from the indexed 0. Now integer m, and then here I just write size of, which is the b value right here, and then I just write size of, which is the b, and the b is equal to 0. Now I just write cout right here, and before going to the cout, we just going to firstly I just create a function here. So this is the functions that run the number of the pair. So integer count underscore pairs. Here I just write integer a empty size array, integer b empty array, integer n, and then integer m. So these are our parameters of this functions right here. Now start the code, and here I just define that count underscore pairs, and which will print A, B, N and M. Close this code right here. Now integer odd 1 which is equal to 0. Okay, then I just write even 1 which is equal to 0. These are the two values that I just take here, even and odd. Then integer odd 2 which is equal to 0 and even 2 which is equal to 0. These are the count of odd and even number, or you may say these are counting the even and odd numbers only. Now see, here I just take for loop for integer I which is equal to 0, I which is less than n, and I plus plus. So this is our first for loop that traverse in the first array and count the number of odd and even number in them. I just take if statement A which is I, so that array will print I which is the modulus of 2, and then odd which is 1 plus plus. What does that mean, the odd 1 plus plus right here? I just simply did an increment operator right here, then even plus plus right here. First array is completed right here. For let's just suppose this array A is completed right here. Now we just turn to the array B. Let's just take for loop again, integer I which is equal to 0, integer I which is less than M, and I plus plus. Then here I just write B which is printed the array of I right here, and then the modulus of 2. Then here I just write, or I just set the increment operator for odd 2 and the increment operator for even 2. Now after this example, we just go to count the number of the pairs, like integer pairs which is equal to main is a type here, and odd 1, then even 2. So I just print odd 1, or I just multiply odd 1 with even 2 plus main again, and then odd 2 which is multiply with even 1. Hope so you understand. Now after this I will getting the return number of the pairs. So here I just write return give me the pair, okay, or give me the pairs. I just save this code. Now at the last return 0. Let's just run this code first, and we have an error right here which is in integer main function, which is integer A and 9, 14, 6 and 11 right here. Then integer B which is equal to 8, 4 and 7 and 2 right here. So this is in curly brackets, not in the array size. Okay, run it again and check the error again. So we have an error like here again, which is cout and the count pairs. So this is our count pairs. Run it again so you can see our program is run here. As you can see, we have get the value of 3 right here. How this value of 3 is coming right here. I just told you this is the program which is running the to array count all the pairs whose sum is odd number. Okay, we have two arrays right here, which is the integer value of n and m. I just told you that this task is to find the number of unordered pair formed of the element from both array in such a way that their sum is an odd number. If this is the even number, that will not taking any of the array. Like we have 2, so sum of 2 I divided by 2, so it is 0. 4 divided by 2, so this is multiplying. You do not multiply 3 with 1, or you do not multiply, like here the value is 11 with any of the edges 3, 4, 5. So that will only take the number whose you easily find the sum. So note that an element can only be one pair. Okay, remember that. So as you can see, we have the two input types right here. So first input type is this one. This answer is 3. I will explain this one later. First, I will create one another array and whose value is 2, 6, 4, and then B, which is equal to 8, 10 and 12. Okay, so this sum is 0 because these all are the dividable values 4, 6, 2, 8, 10 and 12. So that output will be 0 right here. Why this output is 3? Let's just see now. We have 9, which is the odd value. Sorry, 9 is divided by 3, so I'll cut this. 4 is divided by 7, I will cut this. 6 is divided by 2, 3, any number, I will cut this. 2 is divided by any number, 2 like, I will cut this. 11 is didn't divided by 1, 2, 3, so I will take this as the 1 right here. 1 plus. Okay, now I just go to another value. Here we have the value, sorry, 9, yes, okay, 9 is didn't divided by 3, so we will only take 2 right here because this is the even numbers. Okay, so 14 is divided by 2 and here the 6 is also divided by 2. These all values are divided by 2 without 9. Okay, so I just take 1 right here. I am just did a wrong right here. So 9 is didn't divided by 2. Now 8 is divided by 2, 4 is divided by 2, 7 is not divided by 2, so I just write 7 right here, and 20 is also divided by 2. So this is the sum of 3 values which is not divided by 2, and it will find the odd values which is 3 right here. You can see. Now we just see what is the approach of this thing. So count the number of odd and even number in both the array can answer to the number of the pair will be like this main odd. You can see I just remove this, and here you see main 1 and main 2. So these are the answer of the numbers of pair will be the main even odd 1 and even 2 plus odd 2 and even 1, because that here you just see this is odd plus even only, which is even odd odd, so that will only print the odd values right here. Hope so you understand now with this example that how we can print the two arrays count all the pairs whose sum is an odd number. So that sum is an odd number, so that will 3. Hope so you understand now. If you not, please let me know, and thanks for watching this lecture.